she's probably the most understanding parent, and my father. Like, I grew up in a very...
Oh yeah, you're shitting on my parents, are we? Oh, nice. Okay, that's cool. Shh, don't tell Mum. Hello and welcome to Shh, Don't Tell Mum. My name's Barney.
And I'm Jamie.
And this is the #1 parenting podcast in the world.
The world! I meant to say the world. You're not meant to say it.
No, I say in the world, and you say, don't Google that.
Don't.
You effed it up, not me.
Okay, do it again. Ready?
We're going to 5, 6, 7, 8 again for you all at home.
5, 6, 7.
Hello and welcome to Shh, Don't Tell Mum. My name's Barney.
And I'm Jamie.
And this is the #1 parenting podcast in the world.
Don't Google that.
Exactly, don't Google it. It looks a bit different in here.
It does. It does. Basically, we are taking the leap with a production company. We're bringing them on and we are going
Shout
to
out to
grow.
Hamlin Studios.
Yeah, Hamlin Studios.
Straight off the bat, we
We've
are
got
not
pillows.
at home.
We've got pillows, but we are actually waiting for the actual setup. So unfortunately, we ordered stuff and it was meant to come last week. Didn't come, of course, because it's us and nothing ever goes to plan. So this is the current setup.
Yes.
But it's going to come soon.
Let's be honest. We have microphones, we have chairs, we have a wall, and we have hanging lights behind us. Right now, it's okay. I'm not stressing.
No.
But you'll see maybe every single episode that we do, a little bit of something gets added. A little bit of zhuzh, as Jamie says.
And if you share this podcast with one of your friends, then we can invest more time and energy into this podcast because that's what we're about. We can get better and better guests on.
Did you just do a call to action less than 5 minutes into our episode?
I absolutely did.
That's right. Well, give it a 5-star review, as they say. Anyway, you told me before we started this podcast, by the way, that you are wearing something that our neighbour bought you.
Yeah.
What is that about? So you got a Pablo Picasso dress on.
Yeah. Well, no.
And it's
from
cool.
Designal,
it's very like Art
from Spain.
Deco.
They were like, it would be really cool for your when the lights are hitting you on the dance floor while I'm DJing.
Can I just quickly establish? I'm not sure that you quite like tweaked or quite understood what I was saying. Do you know who Pablo Picasso is?
Yes.
Okay.
He's an artist.
Okay.
Why?
Kind of art.
Art.
What kind
Like
of
the art, classic art. Like you buy a painting and you fucking stick paint on it.
I'll give you that. I think he was an abstract artist, but that's just me trying to just dig in you a little bit. Just a little bit here and
Love
there.
a little bit of dig.
Little
Right
bit
now,
of a
don't
dig.
you?
Okay, we're back.
Yeah.
Welcome to Shush, Don't Tell Mum. Essentially, what we would like to explain a little bit. I was away for 2 months, so this is the beginning of season 2. Woo! I'm trying to reach you without.
I feel like we need
smacking
champagne, but you don't drink at the moment. He went out at the weekend. He's like, I'm never drinking again. But he didn't do milk thistle. I'm telling you, that is.
So right, we need to. Jamie tells stories as if you're already in on it. So she's like, he didn't drink the milk. Okay, you tell me to eat milk thistle tablets every single time I go on nights out, or when we go on nights out, you always give me milk thistle in the hope that you would not be hungover the following day. That's essentially what milk thistle does. What does it do?
It basically cleans out your liver. So from toxins of when you eat loads of, well, it's not your kidneys, is it?
This sounds a bit holistic to me. This is something
not.
you buy in Holland Barrett, isn't
no,
it?
but it worked when we were in Italy. And also you remember when I had to go get my heart checked? We were taking milk thistle then as well. But I missed it one day and that was the day where my heart nearly broke down.
You nearly had a heart attack and you're trying to shove milk thistle down my throat before I go on a night out.
That was the time I came off a hen party and I went and got my heart checked from the hospital. I went straight into A&E because I was like, my heart, it's going to die.
You went way too hard on this hen party for sure.
I mean, why not?
I mean, yeah, it's true for sure. I've got to organise a stag soon. We'll talk about that. We'll get into that. First of all, what do we normally kick off each podcast with?
How is Rocket doing?
How is Rocket?
Talking of Rocket, we have Rocket here today with us in teddy form. Rocket Man!
Welcome to the show, Rocket Man, aka Rocket 2. But you know what? We fitted his face into the kind of face-shaped hole that they give you on the website, and then they sent it to us. And they've given us half his bloody face. So I don't know what that is about.
They cut his mouth off. But I still think
he looks so
cute.
weird. But, we're going to keep it for sentimental value. And obviously, it's a bit of a talking point. We can give it to someone, maybe one of our guests that we have on the future on our podcast. And they can go, what the hell is wrong with his face? And we can go,
why do they have that? Yeah, he's about that size
and we
anyway,
can go,
isn't
how
he?
dare you? That's my son. That's what he looks like.
So Rocket's doing okay. He woke up at 4 a.m. this morning, guys. 4 a.m. And you know what? our routine is he normally has 2 dummies. So he has one in his mouth and one he likes to play with. I'd lost that dummy. So I think that's why he didn't go down straight away. Took him to bed with me and I looked at Barney. We're a great duo. Turned around and went, go get the milk. So he went and got the milk.
Wait, we're a great duo, but you just bark orders
Well,
at me.
I went downstairs and grabbed him. That was my job. Then your job
my
was to
God,
go
yeah.
down and get
She's
the
like,
milk.
Don't worry, I'll sort him. 4 a.m. And I'm like, oh yes, I'll get to sleep a bit more. She goes downstairs, gets him, brings him up to our bedroom and goes, so go and make the milk then. I'm like, what? I thought you said you were
Then
going
I
to sort
fed
it.
him the milk and then put him back down and he actually slept, thank God. But he only slept when I went and got a second dummy.
Okay, well, okay. He
Why
went
do
back
I
to
have
sleep.
2
All's
pillows
good.
right now?
Because you've got
You've
the
got
Rocket Man.
one.
Okay, I'll take back the Rocket Man. So, my turn to speak now. This is the speaking pillow. So, for me, I think a good place to start is I went to Saudi Arabia for about 2 months at the beginning of July. So, it's been basically 2.5 months since we have done an episode of the podcast. So then also it's been 2.5 months since we've done an update on Rocket. So in that last 2.5 months, what is new with him? What is he doing? Is he speaking? Is he walking, talking?
Yeah, he's speaking.
So he'd been walking by the time we'd done our last episode of the pod.
But he's now
What
actually...
was the last word he said?
Sarge.
Sarge.
Yeah.
And he said it this morning.
He said it this morning. But the thing is, yeah, he's starting to he understands words, but he hasn't really clocked on to actually say a sentence, or he'll say it in an odd word. But you know what? He still hasn't said mama. And that's really upsetting my ego.
Jamie, has he said dad yet? Has he said dada, daddy, dad?
Quite
He
a
said
lot.
all 3. Exactly.
You know, honestly, I keep going, mum, mummy, mama, mum. And he goes,
He
That's
just
how he
goes,
calls me.
That is true.
I turn around and I'm like, mummy!
Although he understands everything. So if you tell him, oh, go and put that there, or go and
Yeah,
do this,
go get this
sit
for
down
Mum.
there, watch the show,
Mate.
don't watch the show. He does it all.
I was on the Peloton the other day and my water was the other side of the room. I went,
No.
go get my water.
No.
And he went and got it and brought it over to me.
That's
while I was on the
That's a
Peloton.
new leap.
I know.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Genius,
well,
baby.
So I was away for 2 months in Saudi Arabia, and then by the time I'd got back, you had essentially been single parenting-ish. With a few helping hands for that kind of 6 weeks to 2 month period. How was it?
You know what? I was thinking about this. I'm so lucky that we have the support system. So Mondays he goes to nursery, Fridays he goes to nursery, and we're actually going to extend it to a 3rd day next year because we have
we
the
know.
33 hours of childcare that you get from the age of 2, and he turns 2 in February.
Let's go.
So that's quite handy. He'll do 3 days at nursery and then he does 1 day at each grandparent so they can build a good relationship with them. So it's been really good. I went to my dad's for a day and saw him as well. Actually had a stern conversation with my dad the other day.
Oh no.
I said, like, honestly, you have been limited in his life and you need to make more effort. And you know what he said? Well, I can book a Disney trip. No, Dad, get in the car
Whoa.
and come and see us.
Damn.
I'm sorry, but like, I don't want to go to Disney so you can have a relationship with our child. My dad's obsessed with Disney for some weird reason. And you know what? That was how I told him I was pregnant. I said to him, I was like, Dad, you can finally go to Disneyland without looking like
A weirdo.
a weirdo.
Okay.
So honestly, and we still haven't gone yet, but we were waiting till he got to such an age that he would realize what Disney was. Like,
Of course, yeah.
Disney.
I feel like it's a bit of a waste of money to take kids to Disneyland when they can't understand the full scope of it and they don't already understand or enjoy Disney characters or Disney films.
Yeah.
He'd be in like wonderment. He'd be like, oh my God. But he wouldn't actually understand any of it. Like if he met Mickey, he'd be like, cool.
Yeah.
What's this?
No idea.
So yeah, I would definitely want to hold off a little bit, maybe until he's like 2 or 3.
But on the front of being supported with our supportive group, like my mum and my mother-in-law have been amazing. Also, they've had to pretty much do the weekends because I'm a DJ and this year has been crazy work-wise. But they've gotten some time off now because I don't really have much work on for the next 2 months. So we're focusing on making music and, you know, spending family time together because we actually haven't felt like a family. I felt very detached from you. I was struggling to connect with you because you would always do late nights, and when in the daytime you'd wake up late, and then in the middle of the day I'd be doing something. So I felt like there was a huge gap in our relationship where we didn't really connect, and I did get lonely. I had to invite some boys over. Had
Oh,
a few
how was
parties.
it?
It was great.
It was great fun,
yeah,
was it?
great fun.
Nice. I mean, I think that being away for that long was a bit of a drag, but ultimately to choose things career-wise sometimes are, it's so beneficial for us as a whole, for me to go away for a long period of time and then come back for a long period of time rather than constantly going away for a week here, week there. I'd actually rather do it all in one big chunk and then come back and have loads of time back at home.
Well, that's one of the other things is like we have the flexibility now for me to focus on making music. But if I was my own lone soldier, I couldn't do that.
Yeah,
I would have to work.
The support system is quite an important topic here because you have managed to also work while I was away, which is a huge thing because you haven't had to. Often when I think two couples that have, or a couple that has, they're both freelancers, I feel like for one career to flourish, the other one must take a bit of a hit.
Yeah.
Timing wise, especially when you have kids, things like that. And I think we're in a fortunate position that obviously while I was away, kind of improving and growing my career, you also had the ability to go and work, and our parents could look after Rocket, even in last minute situations, because Christine moved 2 doors down from us.
Thank God. And you know what? Next week, we're going to have her on the podcast because she's just the most craziest person. And I want her to be our first guest
for sure
for the season.
She's also someone who's lived a life. She's had a great time.
Hasn't she?
Growing up like all over the world and then working in London, working in industries that we're familiar with. So she kind of understands what we do. That's one of the things that we always like kind of butt heads in a certain way with some of our parents because they don't really understand what we do. They see YouTube as kind of like oversharing and
she's always been part of it.
There being cameras around all the time. And I think that Christine kind of gets it.
Well, she worked for a big agency back in the day and she's worked for Sky Channel in the past. I mean, we'll go into this later. But at the end of the day, yeah, she's probably the most understanding parent. And my father, like I grew up in a very...
Oh yeah, you're shitting on my parents, are we? Oh, nice. Okay. That's cool.
No, they're just very corporate.
Very cool.
Your mum isn't.
Like the biggest hipster.
Yeah, she is. About? No, she is, but she married a corporate guy.
She did.
Yeah.
My dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's great.
It's great. Right. Reining it back into the Shush Don't Tell Mum universe right now. Okay. TikTok turn-offs. We haven't done this for 2.5 months.
Yeah.
It's a staple in our podcast sessions, in our episodes. We always talk about what is turning us off about TikTok or social media in general. What is your TikTok turn off for this week? Go.
So my TikTok turn off are it's really weird. I don't know whether it's an advert or something that pops up on my phone, but it's like the most interesting facts that you will see. And the one at the end is the best. And you're just like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
God, ick! That is such an ick. It's a real
Is it because
big
it's so
ick. And the way
obviously
he
trying
talks.
to rein you in to watch it until the end because it goes, the one at the end will shock you.
Yeah, that's the
thing
one at the end will shock you. And I sit there and after that 4-minute thing, I've just wasted my life watching these shitty videos. And I thought to myself, oh my God, I could be inspired right now by something brilliant. And I've just wasted
all you got to do is
that.
swipe down, babe. And the next thing might inspire you.
I know, but it's just it got me on the last
But I
thing
totally
will
get
shock you.
I've seen that multiple times as well come up on my For You page on TikTok.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely frustrating.
So irritating. I like the stuff about the aliens, but other than that, I'm like, yeah.
Love
okay.
a conspiracy theory.
Oh, mate. So tell me yours.
My TikTok turn off for this week is, okay, so in the realm of social media right now, one of the things that we're experiencing a lot of is everyone tries to take stuff to the next extreme all the time. And I get it. That's how the industry grows. And that's how people gain fame because they're the first to take it that extra step. Now, we've had Misfits boxing around for a while where YouTubers or influencers will fight each other in like a boxing ring. Now, I don't mind that. I think that's fine because some of them are doing really well. Jake Paul, obviously, and the events are growing. I now have a problem with it because influencers are now starting to bare knuckle box. And I've seen a couple of things about that. And that is really going to damage some people. So some people are now starting to do bare knuckle boxing influencer fights and people can like get killed doing bare knuckle boxing. So I'm like, this is just stupid because I get that they're trying to take it to the next step. Well, why don't we fight without gloves on then? And they get scrappy with each other.
They will always be through these phases. Remember when that was that one where you like hit people around the head on a bus?
Happy Slaps.
Happy Slaps.
I remember that.
Yeah.
We are
And that
showing
was
our
a
age
thing.
right now.
That was a thing. And people would just be like, oh, it's normal. You just get slapped by a stranger around the face.
Someone would just boss you around the face and
and
then
they'd
run out
film
of the
it
bus.
and they'd put it on social media.
That's so weird. That's like assault now, isn't it? Like if someone did that, that's just like why didn't people get arrested back then?
I don't know. But
people
that's the
just
thing.
not get arrested?
I don't understand. We'll go through all these weird phases and like the bucket head challenge for ALS.
Yeah, that was the ice bucket challenge. Yeah, but that was charity.
Now people do that on purpose. They literally go into a bathtub
an ice
of
bath.
ice
Yeah,
bath. That's
like,
like
where's she
now
going with
the
this?
current thing, to do. I want to get an ice bath.
I would love one as well. I looked them up the other day. Ice baths are so expensive. They are crazy. To get one that like stays, like obviously you could just get a tub and fill it with ice and water. Yeah, okay.
But
you
needs
can
to
buy
stay
ice
cold,
tubs
and
that
it would-
just stay cold for, you plug
And you
them
want
in.
it to, yeah, because I tell
Basically
you
a
what,
fridge with water in it.
that's a lot of effort putting it with ice cubes every morning.
Every time. Imagine how much money you spend on ice.
Oh, ridiculous.
Yeah, so I've looked at buying one and the minimum one was like 11 grand.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Like an actual company, there's a company called Brass Monkey.
No,
Shouting
Lumix.
you
You can
guys
get
out.
Lumix.
Yeah, but Lumix is like a budget version.
Yeah, but it
just
stays
a-
cold.
It's just like a mini jacuzzi that you fill
think-
with ice.
So we've
Yeah, but
recently
you fill it with ice.
We've recently done our garden and we have like this like pergola. I know I say that wrong. It's pergola. And
I
we
think it is pergola,
no, I said that and then my auntie was like, "You're saying it
Pergola or
wrong."
pergola? Pergola. Okay.
Yeah, pergola. Maybe that's an American thing. I don't know.
Don't listen to that
Canadian,
person
sorry.
off camera.
So basically, we had this pergola made and this beautiful tiles done, and I have this image of in the wintertime after we've put all the furniture to the side because we're not going to use it. We'll put the tub right in the center. It'll almost be like an actual piece, like what do you call that? A furniture piece. A statement piece for the house.
Okay.
So you see it, and it's one of those like brown metal ones that look really funky and cool.
Are you talking about the ice tub still?
Yes.
Yeah, so those are
What
the
did
ones
you
from
think I was
Brass
talking
Monkey.
about?
Because I was like, a Lumix thing isn't going to be a statement piece. It's just going to be ugly. It's just going to be an inflatable
know.
bathtub.
I know, but then you have to get a sauna next
those
to it,
bougie
really.
ones are... You're buying a sauna now?
Yeah,
What's
because
wrong with...
then
I'm
you
not
can get
made of
warm.
money.
No,
Are you made of money?
no.
Oh. So who's buying us a Brass Monkey tub?
Rocket.
Rocket's going to buy us one with his TikTok money.
Yeah, with his
Okay,
TikTok
that's
money.
fine.
We still haven't opened a bank account for. Actually,
sort
he's
him
got
out.
shares. I've moved his money into shares. Yeah.
Since when?
I told you this.
Why do you just do things without me? Like family decisions. Family decisions should be
comes
done as a
back
family.
from holiday and he
I
goes,
come back from holiday.
"Everything's
the whole
different."
house has changed. All the furniture's changed. The walls are a different colour. And then the garden is nearly
There's nothing
finished.
else to fucking do, so I might as well just decorate it. I need to stop
Can
swearing
we also
on this
establish that
podcast.
you said that we shouldn't swear in this episode?
And I've
before
already
we
done it
started?
3
I think you've
times.
done we've got a laundry list of swear words.
Hamlin Studios, our production team, are going to send us a right bill after this, being like, "This you get
85
every pound."
bleeps.
Yeah, every pound we're going to charge to add the beep in.
So I wanted to share with you quite an interesting story. And it's not necessarily parenting related, but it was something that happened that was really cool the other day. Ed Sheeran was supposed to perform his concert. I think it was somewhere towards Bristol. I'm not sure. It might be Birmingham. I'm not sure. I forget that part of the story. And he had to cancel due to safety concerns or something along those lines. At the same time, a random local wedding was taking place nearby. And there... Am I getting this story right? Essentially, the end of the story is that Ed Sheeran rocks up to this wedding and plays for them. Does their
are they
first
friends?
dance, does all that stuff. And I don't know if it's because their performer didn't turn up and Ed Sheeran cancelled his concert at the same time. And then he heard about...
How pissed off would you be if you bought the tickets to see Ed Sheeran and you went to some fucking
Is this-
Tom, Dick, and
Are
Harry's?
we all invited to the wedding? Can we all go?
Yeah.
Can we all go to this wedding? So yeah, imagine Ed Sheeran rocking up to your wedding and your wedding band had cancelled. And he was just like, don't worry, I'll just like do half my album.
Mate, if I cancelled a wedding, that's a big deal. I had COVID once and I had to actually play because I couldn't
They just
cancel.
made you play anyway?
Yeah.
By the way, guys, I've got COVID. That's fine.
Yeah, they were
Just-
literally like, it's fine. It's
That's
the
fine.
day of. And I
Jeez.
tested positive.
Oh, God. Do you think nowadays people would just be like, it's basically a cold?
Now,
Do you think people don't
100%.
care anymore?
Oh, they don't care
Like, if
anymore.
you
But
test
this
a
was
positive
like this was when we'd just come back out again and I'd had a little cough, checked it that morning. And
like
had COVID.
one of the
After Rocket.
I hosted an event recently and one of the players test positive for COVID, and everyone was like, oh, what are we going to do? And then we turned up the next day, and it was just one player just playing with a mask on. And I was like, well, that's doing fuck all. Everyone's getting COVID then. So yeah, that was.
I don't think they care about it anymore. So what was that? We used to do TikTok turnoffs.
Yeah, TikTok turnoffs. Oh, what? So you don't remember our show anymore?
No,
it's
I
been
can't
2
remember.
months of you living the high life, has it? And you forgetting about our little podcast.
High life. I've become an interior designer in my time.
You bloody have become an interior designer.
Yeah.
Who's bankrolling this interior design?
Both of us still, and you earn more money than I do. Mate, everything's 50-50 in this relationship. We'll talk about finances on another podcast episode.
Oh, great.
But what?
We'll talk about our finances.
Yeah. Talk about how,
finances. Sorry,
because
that
we're
wasn't
not
into the mic.
married, you see. And the fact that we're not married, people always ask us, well, how do you do, everything goes 50-50 down the middle. But actually, over the course of the years of us being together over the 7 years, if Barney has had a bad month, I've been supporting him and vice versa.
Yeah.
And that's the way we've kind
The
of done it.
freelance world, baby.
Yeah, it is.
That's right. Right. I've got a question for you. I've read up on a couple of news articles about parenting lately, because parenting at the moment is obviously a hot button topic. There's a lot of people who are very anti family content creators and stuff like that we do. So it's kind of ringing alarm bells to make sure that we're kind of staying within the kind of the gray areas, because obviously we never want to kind of child exploitation. That's kind of like a big thing that's happening right now. So for me, one of the things that I came across recently, which is not necessarily to do with that, but it's more so people that are taking images or videos as well, and they are leashing their kids. How do you feel about people that leash their kids?
I bought a leash the other day.
So this is one of the reasons why I brought this up, because I opened the car the other day and there was a bloody leash stuffed in the door. Have you put a leash on Rocket before?
I did it once at the beach
And
the
what was
other
it
day.
like?
I
there
put
are
it
some
on
people
him
who
and he
are
went
super
running and I
anti.
pulled him back and he just went flying backwards and I was like, I'm going to pick that off
Obviously.
you. Yeah, because he's not Rue, because I'm used to Rue just pulling and tugging the whole time.
Yes, our son is not a dog, babe.
Yeah.
So that is basically what
The
the question is.
reason-
People are saying...
The reason why I bought him a leash, can I just say why, is because we went to the Taste Festival
Yes, we
and
did.
he ran off and that frightened the hell out of me. And because he likes to move around, I bought him like a little like attachment thing, which you can just attach to your wrist and then he can just have a little bit more of space.
bit more freedom, but without running away.
I used to have a tracker when I was little. My parents, I remember in America, we used to have this it's quite ahead of its time actually. It was like a little tracker that Dad could look on this like walkie-talkie thing and it could see where I was.
Fantastic.
But honestly, I think there's air tags you can get wristband air tags. You can put air tags and stitch them into the clothes.
Yeah, it's a good
Little
shout,
things
that.
like that.
I think that's one of the best things that Apple's brought out in recent years is the AirTag.
They
That's a bloody
should
great
create,
invention.
I tell you what Pampers should create. They should create
Pampers?
a little pocket where you can slip an air tag on the and
Into
every
the
time,
nappy?
Yeah, and then every time you change the nappy, you take the air tag
So
out.
what if
and
you
pop it in.
forget and then you just chuck away an AirTag because it's inside a nappy?
Well, the thing is, if a child got...
Or imagine a Poonami and the shit goes all over the
Well,
AirTag.
it's a little pocket thing. You have Velcro.
You want
Tuck
to
it
put
in the back.
Velcro on a baby's
I'm
nappy?
telling you it could work. It could potentially work.
I'm telling you, it's probably not going to happen.
It would work.
I'm not going to lie. it's
Because
probably
if
not gonna
somebody
happen.
went to nick a kid, the first thing they'd look at is there anything on their wrist or ankles? Let me remove that just in case they've got a
Nicking
tracker.
kids.
Yeah, but you don't know. There's psychos out there, Bob.
There
We have
are,
to have
mate.
that conversation.
There's a lot of weirdos.
Oh my God, something really awful happened the other day. So Rocket was watching YouTube and Hey Bear Sensory, he loves, came up on YouTube.
Dancing
and
vegetables for those of you who are the uninitiated.
And it said Hey Bear Sensory, and it starts with Hey Bear Sensory, and then it changed to a horrific picture of a man's face doing like horrible
like
things,
evil
saying,
faces. He'd made like an evil version of this Hey Bear Sensory stuff. So he'd obviously used the clickbait nature of like using the name of something that people just stick on for their kids.
Thumbnail
which is
looks like
Hey
Hair
Bear
Bear.
Sensory, dancing vegetables, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, which is like super popular on YouTube. If you ever look it up, like kids absolutely love it. And a lot of parents will just stick it on the TV and be able to get on with like the washing, the cooking, whatever, because the kid will just be like glued to it. And yeah, this guy had made one with the intention of scaring kids and then making it really
Horrendous.
scary video halfway through, so it suddenly changes to something really scary.
And evil. And honestly,
What a dick.
but you kind
That
of,
guy.
that's what I mean. There's some real weirdos in the world.
Yeah.
And then my mum went on his page. She was like, he's a DJ. And I'm like, Mom, it doesn't mean every DJ is a friggin' psychopath. But anyway, that you have to be so careful. And the AirTag thing, I think there's a thing, I might contact Pampers and tell them that they should do that. They should team up with Apple and
dear.
create an AirTag pocket.
So the initial question was about leashing your kids, right? Just to bring you back to reality after your little soiree over there.
Yeah.
Can we have a round the robin? Should you leash your kids? No, no, and no. Okay. So we've bought a leash, so let's bin that.
No,
I
but
actually do
only for when
understand.
we
No,
did it
I
at the
do
festival.
actually understand it as well. And I've seen people do it before. And I honestly, I haven't seen like a major issue with it other than the potential of yanking
And ours is
it
like a little, I
or
know,
flying.
there's a little, it's like a little rocket pack on him. So he has this like bodysuit thing. You pop it in and it's a green wire. And funnily enough, it did come into use the other day because we forgot Rue, our dog's lead. So we
and
used
put it
it.
on the dog. So one thing I will say, okay, if you're watching this, you should like go to itsthebankses@gmail.com. That's itsthebanks with 2 S's at gmail.com and send us your story about, have you ever leashed your child? What do you think about it? And what do you think about other people doing it? You know, because I feel like it's a bit of a hot button topic at the moment. We want to get
Yeah.
the correct information as well about these sorts of things.
Yeah.
And we don't want to be led astray by people that maybe are so pro something or so anti something. So it's
And if you
nice
want to
find
actually
out.
see the leash that we bought, you can check it out on the YouTube at the Bankses. Because
Where is
honestly,
it?
we
On the
had
YouTube?
it on the beach episode, which we're going to
Oh,
post.
so we had it on that episode. Nice.
Yes. So you can
Make sure you check it
there.
out on the YouTube channel.
But honestly, yeah, I think for things like festivals, I think they're quite safe, and I would use it for a festival. But
I guess
it
there are
wouldn't be a
ways.
daily
Yeah, I guess there are
occurrence.
situations for sure that would benefit using it. If you have a dog and a baby as well, it's a lot to deal with. Since we found out when we did that beach day, you'll see the video of it on the YouTube channel. But at the actual beach day that we did, it was carnage. Like we did not rest at all.
No.
Like you tried to sit down and read a book, and Rocket saw you trying to relax, and he jumped on you. And
Yeah,
started
started
dancing on
like
top of you.
drumming on my ass, and I was like, "Wow, this is another level." It's
And then
good rhythm though.
Rocket like just hung around us, and then Rue ran away. Then when Rue came back, Rocket ran away. It just was constant.
It's just a,
So I didn't know about that. Final topic of conversation for you, Madame. You're a fan of the Kardashians.
oh my god! I thought we were going to talk about Britney. I got really excited.
No, not Britney, not yet. We're not going to do a Britney bit yet. We
Okay.
can do at some point. but not
Kardashians,
yet.
hit me, baby.
Right, you're a big fan of the Kardashians.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I have
Guilty
taken
pleasure.
a shining to a certain actor who I've seen a movie with him in recently called June, which is a bloody fantastic
Oh,
film.
yeah.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, I was going to ask you
the
about him.
hot
Who is
button
he?
topic right now, the hottie right now.
Going out with Kylie Jenner, but
Going out with Kylie
for
Jenner.
a while though.
Now, my question regarding this topic for you, Madame, is: do you think this is legit, or do you think this is another Hollywood set-up relationship?
No, they're
where they
kissing.
just spotted at events together and they go a little smooch and blah blah blah.
No,
do
no,
you
no.
actually think they're dating?
I think they're dating.
Because I feel like Kylie Jenner especially has surpassed the point of needing to screw around and do fake setups. Like she doesn't need
No.
more money, more fame, more. Do you know what I mean? So unless Kris Jenner is really on that hype, I feel like maybe they are actually together.
I don't think she's ever had I don't think she's ever had one of those, but you would never know. So there's no point even having this conversation because you would never ever find out. Actually,
shitting on
saying
my
that,
topic of conversation.
No, I'm not. But okay, I'll tell you what. When I was in a girl band back in the day,
Oh, here we go. Duchess, enter the room.
they wanted me to have a fake relationship with one of the Wanted boys,
Love it.
and it was a conversation, and it was a guy called Jay, and they.
I know him.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah, he went to because of them the Midlands Academy of Dance and Drama, MADA or something. He went with a friend of mine.
Yeah, so basically they wanted me to team up with him because it looked good for obviously the press, but it would be us being seen together at an event, not kissing. You wouldn't have to do stuff like that. But it does happen, but I don't think it happens with Kylie and Timothy. They
I
are
think when
way
you're that
above there.
Yeah, when you're that A-list, I feel like
Yeah.
it doesn't really make a difference to your career or not if you're like that big.
But then look at what's his name, the comedian that went out with Kim.
The comedian that went, Pete
Yeah, he
Davidson,
goes out with everyone. Maybe I think that could be
top
some
shagger. I've got to say, like his list of girls is actually like,
I'm not going to talk.
It's
I'm gonna walk off
outrageous.
this podcast. How dare you? I'm going to talk about another guy that I fancy.
oh, go on.
Can't remember right now.
You can't remember?
No.
Is it one of the Ryans? You normally talk about one of them.
One of the Ryans or the Ashton, who apparently, right?
Oh no, you're about to talk about this horrendous topic
Ozzy
of
Osbourne's
conversation.
wife Sharon
Yeah.
was asked who was the rudest celebrity you ever met, and she said Ashton Kutcher. I know.
No.
And that broke me a little
You
bit.
are honestly like his biggest fan.
I'm not his biggest fan, but I love what he does. I love that he's all about, he's such a businessman on top of that, but also Ryan Reynolds is as well. And it's such a ton of when a guy is successful.
Cool.
Anyway, guys,
Ryan, hit me up. Got something to talk to you about.
we really hope you love this podcast. And if you do, please share it with a friend. And so we can keep, producing these.
How do you think people share it with friends?
I don't know.
It does
just-
make me laugh when you're like, share it with a friend. Because, your friend might become an avid fan. But how do you feel like people share it? Do you think they just text it to each other?
No,
like
be
an
like,
ad?
it's quite informative, some of the stuff we talk about on social media. Not when you're on it, but when other people are on it. Actually, can we just quickly talk about the fact that you had an Alone episode when you were in Saudi that
Yes.
has recently been released?
It has, last week.
And how was that? Was that good?
It was
He a
amazing.
dad?
Hollywood Rob TV. He's absolutely amazing. Hollywood, as he calls himself. It's hilarious. He's a lovely guy. We're from total polar opposite backgrounds. So it was amazing to chat to him about, his upbringing, his family. Like, does he want to be a parent when he's older and stuff? And it's
Wow.
really awesome conversation. If you haven't listened to that one already, make sure you go to last week's episode with Hollywood Rob. He's absolutely hilarious. Check out his YouTube channel. And with that being said, you should check out our YouTube channel as well, The Bankses. And everyone calls it The Banks, and it's not. It's The Bankses. The apostrophe above the S is your clue to that.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us on Shush!
Don't Tell
Mum.
See you next
Also,
week.
wait, I have to do
Oh.
the thing where I walk off and you tell a secret.
Okay, bye.
Cheers, guys.
This is the only Shush Don't Tell Mum portion of the Shush Don't Tell Mum podcast, by the way, because this is when I tell you a secret about Rocket. I'm trying to think of, oh my God. Okay, yeah. So, dad jobs that take place in the workplace, in the household, let's say, obviously include taking out the bins, doing the washing, doing the cooking, etc. Actually, the washing is Jamie's. One of my jobs is picking up the dog shit in the garden. And I didn't do it one day because busy day, out and about, can't remember what the situation was, but I was out and about. And I didn't pick up the dog poo. And as I went outside to check out what Rocket was doing in the garden, he already had a fistful of dog poo and was about to shove it down his throat. I rugby tackled him, got it off him, and there you have it. So he almost had dog shit breath, but dad to the rescue. So I'll see you guys next week. And remember, shh, don't tell mum. Shh, don't tell mum.